I'm Andrew.
I'm Thomas.
Today, we're going to go over the album Skiptracing. The album we're going to be reviewing today was made by the Mild High Club, an alternative indie rock group.
In the summer of 2016, Alexander Breton, with the help of Stone's Throw Records, released Skiptracing.
While half of the album is lethargic and dozy, the other half is lively and crosses over into many other genres. Alright, so Skiptracing, the first song of the album, is a pretty lively and kind of groovy song to start off.
It's pretty good. I think it's a lot longer than it should be, but I still appreciate the song for what it is. Honestly, the cowbell part and the when it turns into like that whole like the like Hawaii groove thing. I really like those.
Yeah. I think that's probably the bridge with the solo, but I really enjoyed that part. I think the cowbell part is also really like a good break from the start, like the verses. I think it's pretty well made. It might be a little long, like you said, but overall, I think it's a pretty good song.
Yeah, it's a pretty enjoyable song. It just seems like something you turn on and just chill to.
Exactly.
Definitely.
I think that embodies kind of the whole album.
The whole album,
exactly.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a great introductory track to Skiptracing.
And it really shows kind of what you're in for.
Yeah, for sure.
The second track, Homage, is a very good follow-up to the first, and it incorporates a lot of synths and a lot of electronic music.
Yeah, and along with the synths, it also, in the lyrics, you can see it references the chord progression, the Baroque chord progression, inspired by Bach and a lot of jazz. So it makes me think if Alexander Breton had a jazz background before working on Mild High Club, and it might also be linked to the references he makes where he kind of regrets his life decisions, which is in the next track, but it's super interesting.
Exactly. We decided not to use all the songs, but we picked some of our favorite tracks to talk with you guys.
Talking about that, in Carry Me Back, this is a super sad song. It actually talks about Alex Breton's regret of choosing to waste his life away in LA or Hollywood. I think he wishes he could have traveled back to his house and start over, and all this feeling spawns from loneliness. And I found this on Genius, of course, and I just thought it was super interesting, the lyricism he uses in this track, and the tone that's, used of like sadness or whatever, because it's very slow. It's really sad. It just
exactly,
feels sad.
Yeah. I feel like the overall mood kind of embodies this kind of regret and this kind of longing to start over. Tessellation is a very upbeat song. It has a very insanely groovy beat, and it draws inspiration from funk, rock, and also jazz. There's a very neat solo in the middle, and it really kind of brings the whole piece like together in the middle, and then at the end it kind of goes back to the beginning.
And looking at the lyrics, Genius says that it makes a lot of references to The Big Lebowski, and that's typically known as like a stoner movie. And I just think that's super funny because this Alex guy, big drug guy, I think.
Yeah, kind of referenced in the Mild High Club name.
Yeah, definitely. He just like makes music for like whatever,
But yeah, he's having fun. He's a very creative guy. So.
Oh yeah, once again, it's really psychedelic. This is one of my favorites, by the way. Just everything that happens in it when the guitar solo comes in, and it's really distorted, kind of sloppy. That is like the psychedelic kind of thing to it, and it's so awesome because it's just like really great, dude. It just makes me think like, wow, this guy's a genius.
Yeah,
this guy, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he kind of like, he's a good musician, but at the same time, he kind of makes it purposefully psychedelic. He tones down his guitar playing, and he makes it a little bit groovy and a little bit faded, and so it's a really good way to add a little tone and a little mood to the song. Chapel Perry, Ceiling Zero. Ceiling Zero is a very interesting song that he adds to the album. It's a very a cappella, harmony-oriented song, and he uses vocals primarily. If you haven't heard of Jacob Collier before, you should probably check him out. It's very akin to his work. He does a lot of harmony with his voice, and it's really cool. And it adds like a really powerful, layered sound.
Yeah, it's a super interesting introduction to Chapel, whatever that name is. It's super interesting just because it's like it's a bunch of like vocal acapella harmony stuff, and it just sounds really nice to the ear. But you hear that present in the next song, which is really cool. Chapel Perilous is a slow psychedelic song with a tipsy feel. The vocals are blurry and sound as if they're melting, and it's a great guitar solo in this song. I just really like this song because it's really long, but it fits the song length. It's just something you can just lay back and relax to, and just reflect over things too. Definitely one of the more like atmospheric songs in this, next to Coco Pelli. So yeah, I definitely think this is like one of my favorite ones on the album, next to Coco Pelli.
Yeah, this is the last vocal song on the album. Skiptracing Reprise is a bit of like an audio ending, but Chapel Perilous is like the last real like song, and it kind of just wraps it up with like everything else coming to a stop, everything like kind of getting dozy and tired, and it's just a good way to kind of slow everything down. Overall, I feel like Skiptracing was a really well-made album. Alex did a really good job at mixing. He did a really good job at blending genres and kind of just putting everything together.
Yeah, definitely when I was like going into this genre, like this album was definitely a great gateway to the more psychedelic side of like rock and whatnot. And definitely Alex Breton had a genius idea when making this album because it really changed a lot of things for me. It was overall just a really well-crafted album. I appreciate it for there's a lot of little things added in the songs that are really great, and overall this album is just super awesome.
Yeah, like whether you like jazz, whether you like funk, whether you like psychedelic music, everyone can like enjoy this album in their own different way, and I think this is an album that you should probably check out because we enjoyed it.
But that concludes it.
Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Once again, I'm Thomas.
I'm Andrew.
And this was Tune Time.